Hi, it's Michelle from Movement Lesson, and welcome to the NMA course series that we're having. I wanted to establish, again, the conversation of touch. Now, this is a simple wave machine, and right now it's just moving from vibrations of where it's hanging off of. But I want you really just to notice how delicate my touch is and where the touch goes. Whether you're working on a baby or an adult, this kind of subtle touch, especially with rotational touch, you're going to get automatic counters through the system, which are going to go into a person's, not only to their spine, but through the rest of their body.
It looked like something was.
Oh, I can cut that out. Anyway, so when you're working with someone, so even if I'm going, let's say, underneath, I'm still having this kind of counteraction. Now, this is really true for babies. Babies are at about 85% fluid weight. So just like touching a glass of water, the same thing you'll see in the next video. You will get that kind of response, a buoyancy response from the human body. And also there's no calcification and there's more bones. So the way that their systems work, for every action, there really is a reaction, but it's a counter-reaction. Not like that you would think more so with Newton's law. And every touch that I make, when it's counteraction, you will see these rotational movements, torque, whatever is your language that you want to look at. Now, just taking this little rubber band, and if I put this just over just one group, and now just see what it does to my touch. You'll almost get a same through the system, just from that little bit. Take that off just to show you the difference, see the difference on how that responds to my movement. So now I'm going to wrap up the rubber band. Most people think of a wave as a very linear, well, we're taught waves and crests. They're just showing you a fraction of the wave. What I'm really trying to show you is how movement affects the body. Now, the one thing that's very interesting when I wrap up that rubber band, and you can really see it, and I'll put it in slow motion so you can see it. Now, each one of these sticks seems to fall. See how it goes da across versus this nice, smooth. See the difference on how the wave moves. I can go pretty drastic. Again, just putting a rubber band here. See how the difference that you get more of a fall response. This is what happens to the babies, especially when they start using muscle base too early. Now, muscle base can be an eye muscle abnormality, what we call lazy eye, those kind of things, but a torticollis, any high risk for cerebral palsy, where you're starting to see the organization of their system go into more of a startle fall. And that's what starts to happen. Any kind of early surgeries. I'm not saying that don't put your child through certain situations. Your job is to save their life. But this is where I'm trying to teach you how, now if you go in and if I touch that system as if the waves are acting just fine, that's why my touch has to be that gentle, so I can feel that and make arrangements around it. And then that's how their system goes, oh, I can do that too, because they're getting the nervous system response. And that's what you're after when you start doing the newborn movements. You can go and still touch a baby as if you're doing the work, and therefore their nervous system is saying, oh, that's how it's supposed to happen. Especially when they're a newborn or, just months old in infancy, where they haven't set up the habitual patterns just yet. All the touch that you do not only is with weight transfer, counterbalance, but also with functional movement. And that's where their system starts to neural map what they should have been doing. So I like to say sometimes, I don't have to get a child to crawl when I've already put crawling into their system through touch. Thank you, and let's go on to the next video where we're going to be showing you touch through different aspects of water in the weight machine.